It's starting to landslide. Starting to landslide right now. Hey! That is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Wow. Not gonna lie, my heart's racing. Thought I was going with it. Wow. Oh, fuck, my legs are shaking. Oh, it's not a fucking derailment, but it looks like I got overtime hours for next pay. Oh my god, my legs are shaking. We just saved a couple lives, I think, being here just by chance. Good job, Tommy Miller. Fully up, boys, eh? And pull through again. And motherfuckers. Well, my crew's on that side, and I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed walking over this track right now. I think it's 3:12. Tires are starting to drop here. I can feel the tires moving underneath me, so I guess I'm going to move.
It's gonna go. Here we go! It was absolutely amazing. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Luckily, there was no one around past the railings where we were. Oh my God! And sometimes people fish around there, so it was lucky there was no one around there. There's a lot more up there ready to come down.
A 17-foot deep sinkhole opened up in Holyoke right next to the St. Patrick's Parade route. Contractors with United Water told 22 News a 54-inch sewer pipe broke, causing the sidewalk to cave in. The ground was soft due to recent rain. The area around the sinkhole, which is located near the corner of Resnick Boulevard and Beach Street, needs to be stabilized before crews can begin work. The incident comes at a very inconvenient time for city workers as crews are busy making preparations preparations for this weekend's St. Patrick's Parade and the road race.
I don't know if they're going to get that fixed by Sunday. I don't think so.
Well, the hole is covered for now and should no longer pose any danger to the public or the parade.
Milwaukee police are on the scene of a sinkhole that's developing on Milwaukee's south side. It's on South 12th Street between Cleveland and Harrison. And as you can see, it's about the size of a car parking space. They've got orange cones protecting it until the Department of Public Works can get here and take care of it and repair it. We're told by our crews on the ground there that it's about a foot deep that has sunk so far. Above the scene in News Chopper 12, Matt Salemi for WISN.com.
Golfer is lucky to be alive today after being swallowed by a sinkhole. I mean, we have a sinkhole story like every couple of days, right? He was in the middle of a golf match and he literally disappeared. 43-year-old Mark Mihal fell 18 feet. 18 is the magic number, I guess, on the golf course, right? And it just gave way beneath him. His only injury was a dislocated shoulder. It really could have been much worse for this guy.
It was dark. Finally, my eyes got used to the light. I looked around. It was sort of like a cave, you know. There was room in there. It wasn't confined, which was nice. But looking down, it looked like it was going to go down further. You know, it looked like I wasn't at the bottom.
It's like a nightmare that you're falling and falling. This guy lived it, as we've seen other people do in the past few weeks, right? Fox St. Louis reporter Betsy Bruce has an in-depth look at how this happened.
One golfer thought his friend Mark Mihal had stumbled and fallen down the hill. He vanished so quickly. A second, just 15 feet away, turned and saw no sign of his friend. It was almost as if the earth had swallowed Mark and closed over the hole.
The tear, and it looked like carpet, but that was the zoysia.
Zoysia grass.
And so he started yelling. He heard Mark in there. He goes, he's down in this hole.
Ed Magaletta became the hero of the day, but he credits divine intervention for the fact he had left a flashlight in his pocket from the night before. Golf course owner Russ Nobby brought a 12-foot ladder to the scene, and that's what Magaletta climbed down.
They were there so quick that it was amazing. And maybe we should have waited for the first responders, but I didn't think we had a choice. I think we wanted to get him out of there because of the uncertainty of what a sinkhole is all about. I don't think it wasn't a life or death situation at that point. It got a little tenuous when I was down there by myself, and I was like, I got out of that hole so quick. I didn't wait for the rope to come down.
Ann Breyer's maintenance staff widened out the sinkhole to be sure nobody else would fall in on a weak spot.
It would have collapsed, presumably in the next rain. This was just really bad luck. And I dare say you all wouldn't be here if there hadn't been a person in there. These things happen. Sinkholes form in farmers' fields around here several times a year. There's no press conference.
Well, Ted Corliss is a sinkhole trial attorney. Who knew that such a thing existed, right? He's golfed on this same course. Ted, welcome. Good to have you here today. You get a lot of these cases, and how do they work out? Do people get compensation for these?
Well, here in Florida, we have to deal with all kinds of weather, everything from hurricanes to sinkholes to waves to anything. And so there's a lot of disputes between insurance companies and homeowners about issues like this. That's why we have to deal with them so frequently. Yeah.
You've played on this course. Do you think this man has a case against the course? Who would be sued? The course, I would assume.
Well, actually, what we've come to understand is we believe that because the sinkhole opened up there, that they may have selected a new pope. That's how we're interpreting it.
That's good.
Or the other suggestion might have been that Al Gore actually was responsible for the creation of the sinkhole. I don't know. Most of the time when we're dealing with these issues, they have to deal with the, when sinkholes like this cause traumatic damage to homes. And when there are disputes between homeowners and insurance companies over whether or not there are sinkholes or what the kind of damage is or how they would go about repairing them.
Well, since you're telling jokes, there's a hole in one, but there was definitely one in the hole in this case, right? On the golf course.
Right.
Chills up your spine. Those men, they're staring into this deep sinkhole that opened up right under their friend as he was playing golf. It swallowed him up and led to a risky rescue. The dramatic drop happened on a golf course in Waterloo, Illinois. This story is the talk of St. Louis today, and we talked exclusively with the man who survived this scare. News Channel 5's Talia Kaplan tracked him down today. She's live at the Ann Breyer golf course. Talia?
And Kay, Mark Myhall is an avid golfer. He says he loves it here. He comes here often. He was here on Friday golfing with friends for the first time this year. They were in the middle of the game when things took a dramatic turn.
That was the initial thought. I was like, man, this is it.
It sure wasn't the hole-in-one Mark Myhall of Creve Coeur was expecting.
Well, I was just in shock.
This husband and father of two was playing golf Friday with friends at Ann Briar Golf Course. They were on the 14th hole in the middle of the fairway when Myhall noticed something unusual.
The fairway had lots of moguls and mounds in it, and I saw this depression, and I was like, well, that's interesting, you know, so I went over to check it out.
The next thing he knew, he was in the ground. Myhall fell about 15 feet into the sinkhole, landing in a big pile of mud.
It was just darkness down there, so, you know, I was like, just someone get me out of here now.
He says he immediately went into survival mode.
Thank God I was playing with a foursome. I was probably 15 feet away from my buddy Mike, who we were talking about it, and then all of a sudden I was gone. He heard moaning, he said, and he looked back and I just disappeared.
His friends called the clubhouse asking for a ladder and rope. They all knew time was of the essence. So one of his friends, Ed Magaletta, jumped in himself.
And I knew he couldn't get up the ladder by himself. And the longer he stayed down there, the worse it was. So I felt that somebody had to do it.
Magaletta put a splint around his arm and tried to do whatever he could to help his friend.
They put a rope around me, pulled me out from the top, and then he pushed me from the bottom.
20 minutes later, Myhall was back on solid land.
My arm was killing me, but I was just happy to be on ground. I mean, see the sunlight and you know, thankful that I wasn't hurt worse.
We are sorry this happened here. It is an extremely unfortunate event, an event we feel is an act of nature. You know, we don't feel there's any way we could have foreseen this happening.
Do you think you'll ever golf again?
I hope so. I love it. You know, I probably will. I don't know if I can play that course or that hole again. I mean, it's so freaky that you know, we're still amazed. We can't believe that just happened.
Myhall now has a dislocated shoulder. He had an MRI today and he's waiting to find out if he needs to get surgery. Now this golf course is open to the public with the exception of hole number 14. The general manager here says it's safe and geologists say the odds of something like this happening here again are very slim. Live in Waterloo, Talia Kaplan, News Channel 5.
It's just a few short steps down to an incredible underground site.
And this was the original cavity that eventually collapsed in.
A massive sinkhole carved out of solid limestone by drops of water.
So this is what a sinkhole looks like from the inside?
From the inside, yes, before you fill it up with sand and dirt.
And if someone were living right on top of this, they'd be at risk?
Yes.
Geologist Jerry Black says Sunshine State homeowners might be surprised to find out just how common these are.
What are the chances of someone having a house in Central Florida and living on top of something like this?
Very good. Not as probably as close.